Good morning. Good morning.
It's 8:30 on trail.
It rained last night. It was very cold and windy. Yeah, we got in our tent and settled in, and it sprinkled early and then it rained harder later, but it did get warmer.
The wind stopped howling.
Yeah, so now we're heading out to do that 6 tenths to the shelter, where we will stop and have breakfast and coffee and probably put our packs together a little better because we sort of rushed out. There's the chimney. I was looking all over up on the top for it. So I guess this is it.
I guess that's it, huh?
Yeah. We've been, this is the second one we've seen. Rich thinks they're bat boxes.
Yeah, they are.
So that's cool. We have arrived at Roan Mountain Shelter. It's 0.1 off the trail, but it's a tricky 0.1. Highest shelter on the trail and four-sided. Here it is. Of course, we gotta look inside.
Inside?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if we'll be able to see. Yeah, it's just a little cabin. My camera's not doing a great job. Let's see if we can make it brighter. Maybe not. Anyway, you'll have to take my word for it unless I get my headlamp out. We're gonna make coffee. We couldn't even tell, it was so dark inside the shelter, that there's a ladder and there's an upstairs. You can see the window for the upstairs up here. So we're just about done with our coffee, and we're not going to try to get any water. Yeah. There's a window. So we've just gotten back on the main trail. We're just having a conversation with me about how his biorhythms are off, which is hilarious. But look what we're finding. Woo!
Don't you dare walk out there videotaping.
Don't you dare. He's telling me, don't you? To stop. Yeah.
Put the camera away, get your poles out.
I'm working on it. I got my poles in this hand.
Smart decision.
Okay, it's actually not ice, it's snow. But it's a little snowy here, so I will put this away because we don't need to be filming the sky as I crash and break something.
Okay, now that I thought I was videoing for 5 minutes, and yeah, I wasn't. I did it again. This is just off the trail, coming down from Roan Mountain Shelter. You walk over, do a little road walk, kind of, old logging road, for a good ways, and then you just make a hard left down into the woods, and I just couldn't help but video this. It's so darn pretty in here. Got all these little, you're in a little alpine forest. And it smells like an alpine forest too, even as cold as it is, which is sort of amazing. But it's so pretty and green in here. Got all that moss on everything. It's so bright and green. It's a shame that the video doesn't really show that. It's kind of weird last night, you know, we posted up there at the Cloudland, backed up to a pine stand as a windbreak, and thought we were all happy, and then the wind changed directions. So that made for some interesting times, and it was cold, blustery. I think blustery is an understatement, but yeah. Then it started raining a little bit, and it got warm, and the wind stopped. It was very weird. Who expected that? This is beautiful in here. You see my hiking buddy up there. She snuck off on me. Okay, well, I guess I'll bump out of here.
So we stopped at Carver Gap. Bathrooms have toilet paper in them. Changed out of the rain pants into the skirt. It's still pretty chilly, but I think it's going to warm up a little bit once we start getting downhill. Yeah, lots of people parked here. That is where we were, up on Roan Mountain. And look at the view. There's a parking lot down there, and the view is amazing, and we're not to Roan Mountain yet. It's windy. We are on Roan Mountain. It is windy. I'll do a 360. Looks like where we're going, and it will be Jane Bald. And I guess after that, we'll start to think about going down. You know, I've been wrong before. We do have to download Peat Finder, because it looks like we're going to be able to stay out here, knock on wood. There's the trail coming off of Roan Mountain, and you come down and then come back up here. We're almost to the top. Yeah, it was fun. It's beautiful. Well, it is 12 o'clock, and we have managed to dawdle our morning away pretty good. We've only come about 5 miles since we left Cloudland at 8:30, so that's okay. We have a revised plan to hopefully stop at Overmountain for lunch. It should be around 1:30 when we get there. And there's a line of thunderstorms forecast to come through, so we'll kind of try to take a look at that so that we're not somewhere real exposed when that comes through. But we'll just kind of see where we are and how we're feeling. That's about 1,300 feet down. So hopefully today we can get, you know, if we could get like half of the descent done and just leave the other half for tomorrow, that would be great. But we'll just play it by ear. There was good water back at the pipe spring just behind us. It's just after you come over Grassy Bald or whatever that was. And so we just got a leader. We are coming up on Stan Marie Shelter, and I think we're just going to keep cruising. There's somebody there with the puppers, so maybe I'll get to pet a dog. Oh, are you camera shy? Hi, this is Belle. Belle, sit. Oh, she's got a stick. This is Belle. Belle is at Stan Marie Shelter. She's built a fire, so she's very industrious. And she is with her humans, and they are hiking to 19E. So, yeah, it's a nice shelter. Obviously right on the trail. And there's water, it looks like, down that way. Okay, we are coming up on Overmountain Shelter. It is cold. It is windy. I was hurrying to get here and took a wrong turn. So we added to our trip a little. There's water as you come in. So we're going to try to find a place out of the wind to have our lunch and figure out plan B. Well, the barn is just sad. The privy still works, so that was bonus. It's the first privy we've seen in a real long time. If the weather was good, it would be awesome. Camp somewhere up here near the picnic table. Belle and her people are gonna have to try to figure out where to camp, but all we did was kind of look around. The barn is very sad. And filtered our water, and we're gonna try to get somewhere out of this wind. It's relentless. This looks like Little Hump. We ran into some kids that were coming the other direction, and we warned them about how windy it was down our way. They said up here it felt like ice needles were hitting them, so I hope we don't get blown off the mountain. Wind's blowing like crazy, but there's some cool stuff over there. Yeah, we gotta get up that hill. Top of Little Hump. It was a hump. Oh, the views up here are so good. They were so great on the other side, but it was blowing so hard, I couldn't stand up. And on the top, I mean, when the weather's nice, there's some great places to camp right on the very top. But when it's blowing this hard that it literally is knocking you over, it takes all your energy from you. So we just had to get off that mountain. That's a shame because it was pretty. It would have been an awesome place, just like Big Ball, to just stay and spend some time, but not today. Current situation, we stopped at 388 and change. It's some campsites that are in Gut Hook and AWOL. We'll talk about in the wrap up why we did that. And yeah, we're cooking on a rock. Hi.
Hey kids, here we are.
It is March 15th, day 13 of the 2021 through hike.
As you can see, we're snuzzled into the tent here, and it's still daylight.
Yeah, well, of course it gets dark later, so that helped a little, but we stopped, what, about 4?
Yeah, 4 a little after.
Yeah.
We couldn't, it didn't, with the weather the way it was going, and the comments on Doll Flats, where we were planning on going. They said the place was like a wind tunnel in the wind, and it's windy as hell.
Oh my word. When we came out of Overmountain Shelter, I mean, it was windy when we were going over all the balls after we came out of Carver's Gap, but it was tolerable.
We camped between Little Hump and Big Hump.
Yeah.
Mountain.
Yeah, it's like 388.5. It's in Gut Hook and AWOL. It's just a tenting site, and there's a spring nearby. We carried water in. But anyway, when we came out of Carver's Gap and went up over those balls, I mean, it was windy, but the sun was out. It wasn't bad. And when we started coming up, when we came up out of Overmountain Shelter and started up Little Hump, word, it felt like 60 miles an hour. It was literally blowing me sideways.
It was about 40 mile an hour wind, maybe 50, but it would blow you around pretty good. And it was really, I mean, it wasn't really wicked cold, but it was really uncomfortable because the wind was blowing so hard. And
you couldn't stop and enjoy anything. No. I hated it when we came over Little Hump because on a nice day, like I said in the video,
it was cool up there.
We'd have hung out like we did at Big Ball. But not every day can be sunshine, rainbows, and unicorns.
we messed around this morning a lot. We didn't really try to push miles at all. And by the time we got to the point where we really needed to go, my knee started barking, so we had to slow down.
And for once, we made adult decisions, and we stopped instead of trying to go on. So,
well, it was either we stopped here or we went into
probably in the Roan Mountain.
Yeah, would have had to go
the shelter, which is literally like a mile from town.
And I didn't have it in me to go that far today. I just didn't have it.
So, you know, we took our time and found a place to set up the tent. The tent sites here are not super grassy, a lot of them, and since there is like rain coming, we tried to find a place that was a little less likely to get sloppy. Yeah.
So anyway, we're in a tent early. We had, you know, the views today were really great. And the trails coming down off of Roan Mountain were not terrible. They were actually easier than going up, to be fair.
Up Little Hump.
Yeah.
Well, actually, when we came off that last bald and we were going downhill, it was hard for you because it was so narrow.
Yeah.
And rocky.
Right.
He has a little trouble when he, doesn't have room to spread his feet out.
Yeah. My knee didn't have a good day today. It was much better yesterday, but I mean, it's better than it was a few days ago. This whole thing is not a straight line, and I got to expect some days that are going to be better than others and not freak out about it like I am.
And tomorrow's going to be, somewhere between 7 and 8 because it's never exactly what it says in the book. And we'll probably go ahead and take another 0 in addition to the Nero. Just take our time.
If it's as sore tomorrow as it is today, we're definitely going to have to take a 0
and just let them ice it.
Yeah.
One other benefit about being here is we actually have crazy good cell service. We 5G sometimes.
Yeah.
So we did some research at the Cloudland Hotel, and
that's so cool.
Yeah, we added that to the video from yesterday, and we're going to put a link in the description.
That thing was
really
huge.
Cool.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so that was interesting, and I haven't tried to upload any videos, but I might. We've got time. Hopefully, we're not going to blow out of this valley.
Yeah, we're supposed to get some pretty good storms tonight. Possibilities some sleet and snow later. Because it's going to be right down around 30, 31, 30.
So it would appear that our honeymoon with the weather is officially over.
We finally got some AT weather. Yeah. Yay.
But, well, I think we should probably cut this short because I'm shivering and my hand's shaking. So I guess that's it until tomorrow. Thanks for subscribing and commenting and watching. We appreciate it. We love the comments. It keeps us going.
Yeah. Night, kids.
Night.